So we are, of course, running a Moneyball save with Brentford at the moment on the channel. And last season, it was our most successful season so far in the save. We were FA Cup champions. We won the bloomin' Europa League, actual genuine success after this Moneyball system that we've been running. And we also finished third in the Premier League. We're in a position now where it sort of gets a little bit serious. We have to now take Brentford to that next level, and the temptation to spend this transfer budget, which I'm looking at right now, which is £300 million, it's eating me up inside, but I'm not going to, because this is Moneyball. We're going to be sensible, and I believe this season, I think we can go and win the league. That's the plan. Let's go and try. Okay then, welcome back to the Moneyball save. This was last season then, our third place finish, which, if we're going to be completely and brutally honest with ourselves, I actually bottled second here, didn't I? I saw a few comments as well, and do you know what? Fair play. You were talking about the lack of subs. Somebody called me Gareth Southgate in this Bournemouth game, wasn't it? Where is it along here? The Bournemouth game here where we drew 1-1, and I just didn't feel like we had any options off the bench to come on and win this game for us. So I didn't make enough subs, and then we drew it. And then ultimately, if you go back to that league table, it's a little bit disappointing, because if we got ourselves those extra 2 points, we would have finished second. We wouldn't have won the league because Chelsea won the title in the end. And then we got a little bit of revenge on them because we beat them in the FA Cup 5-2. So we're a serious team. I mentioned as well the budget. We've got £300 million to go and spend. Obviously, I'm not going to spend that. And obviously, I haven't spent that, because if you have a quick look at the date on here, the date is now the 30th of July. It is the next season. We are into 2028-29 season. And today, we are playing the FA Community Shield to start things off. I'm going to go and play another season in today's video. So thank you first and foremost for being here. Thank you for sticking with the Moneyball save. I hope you're still enjoying it as much as I'm still enjoying it. It's one season in today's video just because I'm a little bit more pushed for time. So I'm going to, we'll chat about things, maybe discuss things too. But I'm going to do one season today. And that season is going to be an all-out shot to try and win the Premier League. We will, of course, try and win the FA Cup and the Champions League, which we are back in for this season, but the Premier League is my main aim. And with that in mind, I have, of course, been busy in the transfer window. Let me go to the transfers tab here and talk you through what I've been up to. There is actually a little bit still going on here. Look, a few players that are potentially going to be coming in and going out. One of them, look, Emmanuel Omega, is receiving a lot of bids. I have accepted this, by the way. Let's start there. We've got a £50 million bid from Napoli. That was after a few, look, we got some interest, so I decided to see what the intermediaries were saying, the little transfer goblins that you can try and get to do your transfer business. We've got a £50 million upfront bid for Omega, who, we love him. He's a bit of a hero in the save, isn't he? But he's not. He started 9 games in the league last year. £50 million seems quite moneyball to me. He's 26 now. I don't know if we'll ever get more money for him than that, so I am contemplating it. I've accepted it for now, but I am going to see if I can get more money by offering him out, etc., etc. from there. But as you can see, there is a bit of business going on. A couple of new names here that I am currently trying to loan out, which is why we've got lots of offers for these guys. So let's show you who I've brought in. This is the transfer business, not loads. I've tried to be very Moneyball again. I know that we went slightly off the rails, and it's been a bit of a contentious issue in the comment section. You know, people saying that Gravenberch wasn't very Moneyball. I would argue that that one is. Gyökeres, I'll bow to your superior wisdom on that one. I don't think that's very Moneyball, but I think you're allowed. I'm going to allow myself one of them. I think I've been quite strict in this save on. Right now, it would not be silly to go and spend like serious money, because we finished third. To go and spend 60 million on a player would actually be, I think, quite normal given the actual context that we're in. However, I want it to be a challenge, and I want us to try and do this by purely doing it in a Moneyball way. So I haven't gone and done that. I have instead spent 300k on an 18-year-old called Jefferson Caicedo, who is a 6'3" centre-back, who I think looks very promising. The reason I've signed him is not really based on performances, as you can see. It's come from a scout report, and also, this is a top tip, by the way. If you want to sign good wonder kid or young players, just look for the players that are wanted by the really big teams. Atletico Madrid, Liverpool, PSG, I think we're in for Caicedo. So I've picked him up. It was a release clause of 300k. It's no risk, isn't it? Just put 300k on this guy. 6'3". I really like that in a defender anyway. Obviously, I can't see his attributes, but I can see the pros and cons, and I can see the coach reports. And if I go here, look, they obviously rate him quite highly. He's got potential that is higher than well, any of our other defenders, including another new one, which is this man here, Juan Andres Ladino. He's also come in for £1 million. Very similar story. Wanted by, I think, Atletico Madrid. Basically, I think Atletico were in the market for a defender. So I just looked at all the ones that they wanted and scouted them and then decided to sign the ones that looked pretty good. Those are two not so Moneyball because they're not so data driven. I have made other signings as well as these though, which are, I have to go back to last year because it was before the tick over. These four guys here, but Ladino I've just shown you for £1 million. These two, let's start with Darwin Caguaripano. I've never said his name out loud until this point right here. Darwin is a defensive midfielder that I'm really hoping turns out to be really good. On the screen right now is his data from last season, because this guy really stood out when I was exporting all the data and it came through in the spreadsheets. And then I looked at his profile and realized he's 20. He's Uruguayan. He's 6'4". He's a defensive midfielder. And stats wise, he was playing in Portugal last year in the Liga Portugal Betclic. But he played 29 times and he is he 19 now? He's 20 years old. So at 19, he played a lot of games, scored 5 goals from defensive midfield, and also had a really decent average rating, 6.99, but actually overall it was a 7.05. For a defensive midfielder, who also, if you go to his coach report here, has a little bit of potential as well, I think for, 4.7 million? Well, 3.8 million. I think that's actually, was it more than that? 3.8. It was 4.7 for the other guy. I've brought him in. I think this one could be very, very Moneyball. His value is already up to £32 million. If we want a rotation option for Martin Frendrup, I think this guy could well be him. Darwin in our midfield. And then the other two were Wilson Santamaria, another one where this was a scout report that I just wanted to go for. Although, look at his value already. 60 to 90 million pounds. And he is a young striker who I think... Did I loan him straight back out? I think I did, yeah. Bought him and then loaned him straight back to his Costa Rican team. He did actually score a lot of goals last year. Well, he scored 9 in 34 as a 17-year-old. He's 18 now. So this guy for the future, loaned him back out. So he's one. But then this guy, this last one, Kershaven Keran, might be the one that I'm most excited for. A Croatian Hajduk split. And by the way, I love this point of a Moneyball save. This is almost where Moneyball really... We had like a dodgy spell where it was difficult to find people. Now all of the new gens are coming through and suddenly I'm like, oh my word, scouting is so much fun and finding these players is so much fun. They exist. An 18-year-old from Hajduk Split, a bit of a hotbed for young wingers. I've been looking, by the way, for strikers. When I'm comparing the data, I've been looking for striker data rather than winger data because it's not winger data. It's attacking midfield data. And I feel like I want my wingers to be... Well, they're inside forwards, so I kind of want them to be a bit more attacking. So look at this guy already. I mean, this is the one game, but on the screen is his data from last year as a 17-year-old playing in Croatia. He played 30 games. He played 20 games the year before as well. He must have been 16, 17 at this stage. So I think we might have got ourselves a good one here. Over 7 average rating, 5 goals, 6 assists in Croatia. We're going to bring him in for £4.7 million. He was another one that had lots of interest from other teams too. He is going to just bolster our ranks a little bit. And it's one of the reasons why I was quite happy for... Well, I say quite happy. I haven't made my mind up yet. But I'm relatively happy to let Omega go because Keran can play on the right wing. And then we play Ostenfeld, who we signed last year. Could maybe play as a striker if we need him to. If Gyökeres is out injured. And we've also got the other young striker that we signed last year by the name of... I think he's actually gone out on loan again this year, if I go back to this one. By the name of Caldini, who I've loaned out to Sunderland. So... We've got, I think, enough backups to allow for Gyökeres to be first choice and then for Omega to go. But that's the business. There's a little bit of extra things to show you in terms of sales. Elliot Matazo has finally moved on. We've got £3.8 million for him, which is a loss after we paid £8 million for him. I mean, it's a loss, but he was one that didn't work. We talked about it last episode, didn't we? Some of them are not going to work. Matazo didn't really, but... I'm sort of okay. I'm actually quite impressed we managed to get this back considering he was playing for Watford in the Championship and Birmingham in the Championship before that. So 3.8 million, not the worst in the world. We've got half of his money back. And then the other sale, after I thought it was really cool business that we did, the other sale was Christopher Wu went for... Did I show you about Castroville? I think I did, didn't I? Christopher Wu has now moved on to Hull. He was where we loaned him to, and then we brought him back because we might have needed him in the second half of the season. In the end, we didn't really, and I've sold him now for £6 million, and I think that's actually a really good look. The intermediaries got involved in this one. I think that's actually a really good bit of business, all considering that we signed him for 3.3, and still, after not really playing him much and loaning him out for a season, we managed to, or half a season, we managed to turn a profit on him, almost doubling our money for him. Not quite, but almost. So I'm okay with the Moneyball aspect of this one as well. I'm not sure where I've gone on to his achievements or milestones there. That is the business, though. Let me show you how the team is going to set up and how the squad is going to set up going into this season number 4 by putting the team together here. And this then, I think, is how we're gonna go with things. We've still got our 4-2-3-1 system. I do have a couple of other alternatives that I've been using and things that we've been swapping around between. A little bit mainly with a 4-2-3-1 because it seems to have worked. We finished last season. Was it 4 points off the top in the end? Third, anyway, in the leagues. We are competitive at the very top of the league. This is, I think, how the squad is going to work. Header will be first choice goalkeeper, then Balcom. The two of them. Still love this guy, by the way. He's had a few bids, but I'm just keeping him around. He's homegrown at club. He's now 29, but he's been, I like, his value is actually pretty good. Maybe I should sell him, but he's been a good servant for us off the bench and coming in when Heddle has had injuries. Heddle looks pretty good. There are 1 or 2 new gen keepers that if I go to my shortlist, I am keeping an eye on. I just don't want to spend too much money. I have been updating these. This guy here, let me know what you think of this as potential for the future. Agustin Bermudez is 21. Really good scout report on him. That's a release clause of £9.6 million. I just didn't think I could justify it now. Last season, he managed to break in now into the River Plate team, and he's just started off here. So maybe we'll keep an eye on his data. If we go to here, I think you can see, not this one. On the pizza one, I think you can see the data for a goalkeeper on here. Maybe we'll keep an eye on this season and continue to scout him. In fact, I think I have maybe I've done this already. I'm going to assign one of our scouts to go and follow him, perhaps. Can I only assign him for 1 week? Why can I only assign my scout for 1 week? Anyway, Channy, you're going to go and watch him for 1 week. Maybe that's because my scouting range has come off. That's why I needed to put this back on. I've done that a few times because I do so much scouting. I think I use the budget up. Because I'm just constantly doing recruitment focuses and just all sorts. I mean, just look at my list of recruitment focuses. Lots of people asking me, by the way, for recruitment focus, how I've been working them. Haphazard, doing loads of them. If I'm like, I need a right back, I'll go to create a recruitment focus. I'll go to right back. I'll go, okay, I want them to be about that good transfers. I want them to be young. There's no like magic formula that I'm going with here. That is literally just using this here. Lots of things on here, like things like adding in transfer value and making it a maximum transfer value of say £10 million. Other little bits and pieces in here, like has to have played a certain number of appearances or played a certain number of minutes. There isn't like there's no trick that I'm doing. I'm just thinking, what do I want? Setting them up, letting them go and seeing what players come in. And if lots of players come in, I'll then go to the player and I'll go and scout them, and I'll do more extensive scouting and just kind of get a bigger picture and build up the picture of them. If I really like them, they get added to my shortlists here for each position, which I'm trying to constantly evolve and improve on. There's a couple of this guy I really like as well at centre-back, David Williams. Again, he's a little bit too much money, but as a centre-back, not really great to look at his data there. He's played a lot of games for Sunderland, and I think he was listed as a wonder kid, although maybe he's not anymore. He's 6'6", which is mainly why I like him. But yeah, that's kind of my system. There's no like big secret to it, but that's sort of where we're going with it. And yeah, this is the squad then. Just go back to this. Defenders, Tobias and Fernandez as the right backs. Both young, both going to improve, hopefully. Rico Lewis Henry is the left back with Borza. Borza might play a few more games this year. Rico Henry, I've kept him around. He's 32 now. But I do still really like him. He's a bit of I like having a stalwart in the team like that too. Quaresma and Bade, and then Monterisi as centre-backs. And then the new guy coming in, which is Ladino, who I might loan out still at this stage. If he does go, I might need to think about another centre-back, but I will cross that bridge when we come to it. Centre mids, we've got Frendrup, and Nwaneri is now starting left-sided centre-back over Juan Saforza, but that's a really good option. And then also we've got Lewis Skelly in there, and then Kaguara Pano, the new guy in as the Frendrup replacement if we need him to be there. Attacking midfielders, we've got Maximovic, we've got loads of them, but they are all going to interchange, all of these attacking midfielders. Maximovic, Keran off the right-hand side, Zalazar is at number 10, Saforza can play number 10 or a little bit deeper here. Mikey Moore off one side. Mikey Moore, I'm a bit worried about. Obviously, I can't see it on here, but He's got loads of value, but he's 21 now, and I don't know if he's developed. It's so hard to tell, but just by like things like who would be suggested, just by star ratings and things like that, I just don't know if he's developed. And that's where I'm now need to trust that I don't know how good they are because I can't see their attributes. But I'm a bit worried about Mikey Moore. He might end up being a bit of a waste of money just because I don't know where he gets in the team ahead of any of these guys. Like Austin Fowler's come in and been really good and looked really good. So he's scored, in the end, he's got 8 goal contributions in 16 games. So he might need to be a starter from this point. I think he's going to be. And then, yeah, basically the rest of the team is as it was before. No real changes to how the setup is, other than these new guys coming in to be backup options, really. That's where we're at. I'm going to go and play a load of games now because that's what we do. We are aiming for the title. It has to be. We're aiming for the title, and hopefully, and also, it'll be lovely to get another bit of trophy silverware here. One last thing that I did want to show you. I have been really trying to improve the staff as well as a big part of this. After selling our assistant manager, bringing in this guy, we now have the perfect coaching team, which is always what you want when you play an FM. Medical team is also the best in the league. Recruitment team, I just need to bring some more analyzing data. For some reason, the Newcastle analyzing data is the best, but I will get that perfect. I promise you I will get that perfect. It's something that I'm working on. And also in terms of other improvements, the facilities, continuing to do everything that I possibly can. We've got superb training facilities, excellent youth facilities, exceptional academy, and exceptional youth recruitment. So we're pretty much doing everything that we can do. We're still only in a 21,000 seater. I wonder if actually the time might come eventually to go to the board and see if we can expand this stadium even more. It might well be. I don't think I can ask for anything else in terms of, here's all my requests. Look, so youth recruitment, been asking for more physios and coaches and scouts to try and improve to try and get that really good staff setup that I've got there. Look, don't think I can improve anything right now. No, I can't. Look, stadium is the one thing that I could ask for. Build a new stadium, expand the stadium. I don't want to use all the money, but that's sort of why we're bringing the money in, isn't it? I'll have a think about it. Right now, though, I'm going to go and play the first half of this season and see you as we approach the January window where we'll think once again about transfers. Come on. Okay, before we do jump up to the start of January then, I just want to jump in and almost sponsor my own video by pointing you guys towards a new channel that I've started. If you could be just as kind as you have been on this channel and go and subscribe to this channel called Covering 90. I want to do some real life football chat, and I really like essay style, documentary style football videos, so I want to make some of my own ones. So if you would like to go and watch that, it's called Covering 90 and it's about football stories that are outside of just the 90 minutes that we see on the pitch. I've made 2 videos so far, one of them is all about the Premier League's referee problem and after the David Coote situation, and another one all about what if moments in the Premier League. For example, Ruud van Nistelrooy takes a penalty against Arsenal in their invincible season in the last minute and he hits the bar, and then Arsenal go on to become invincibles. If that had gone in, it would be a very different landscape we'd be living in. If you could give it a shot and just go and watch a couple of the videos, see if you like it, and also drop me a subscribe over there. It would be much appreciated. If you like what I'm doing, playing Football Manager, you might like some real football stuff over on there. So thanks for listening. Let's get back into the video where we did, of course, play the Community Shield, and we lost. Chelsea, after we got revenge on them, got revenge on us again. They scored a 95th minute winner by David Washington to win this one here. It was actually 1-0 to us, then 1-1, then 2-1 to Chelsea, and we equalised again with Keane Lewis-Potter. It was a very even game, actually, but then Chelsea did go and win that trophy. But that's fine. It was, it's a glorified friendly anyway, isn't it? After that, though, this is how we've been doing in our quest to try. Oh, that's interesting. Well, let me go back. In our quest to go and try and win the league. It's been a good first half of the season without being. We're not running away with the league title. That is sort of true at this stage here. We're second. Arsenal are top by 4 points. They have a better goal difference, but we're there or thereabouts. We've lost 1 game. Chelsea are right there as well, by the way. They've won their last 5 games, as you can see. But 4 points behind after 21 games. We've positioned ourselves in a place where, if a couple of results go our way, we could be in a title race. We're second going into January. Perhaps a little bit of strengthening, and perhaps if things go our way, we might be able to put ourselves in a title run-in. That is sort of the aim, although Arsenal look really good this year. They've only lost 1 game, and that was to us. We beat them 4-3, so we've kind of done what we can do. Let me show you those results, as then I'll also show you some of the stats, as well as maybe thinking about some transfer stuff as we head into January, the January window. Actually, before I show you this, I do need to tell you about one extra bit of business, and that was the sale of Emmanuel Omega. I did sort of tease it. I did accept that bid from Napoli. In the end, he did go there. So £50 million brought in for Omega. I didn't sign anybody else coming in. I didn't think we needed to, even though I did loan out Ladino, the centre-back. We've managed to cope okay with just 3 main centre-backs, basically. These are the results. We started off with that loss in the Community Shield. We drew to Southampton away. This guy, though, Kershaven Keran, scored on his first Premier League game here. And I think we may have found another one. Franco Mastantuono, Keran, as well as Ostenfeld. I think we've got some really good youngsters that if we continue to build up, we might be seeing. I mean, we are challengers now, but this title is coming. It's coming. I feel like it is. Let me just show you Keran here for this first half of the season. 13 starts, 6 goals, 6 assists from him. Look, put him as a striker here because he's playing as that inside forward. I think we found one. Value's at £40 million. There you go. Look, 17 games, 5 goals, 2 assists, but actually only 7 starts in there as well. Even better from him. Hopefully he has a good second half of the season as well. Franco Mastantuono still scoring goals, scored 2 in this game against Burnley. We beat Forest 6-1. You see the goal scorers over there. By the way, Keane Lewis Potter is our top goal scorer. Again, 15 goals in 32. He's actually outscoring Gyökeres, who's had a couple of injuries. We've had to play Ostenfeld up front instead of him. But this guy, just look at the stats over the course of this save. Where did we start this? We started here, right? He's got himself, 8 goals, 13 assists, 11 and 6, 8 and 8, 11 and 15 last year. And he's on course to maybe, he's going to score more goals this year. I don't know if he's going to get anywhere near 15 assists, but what a servant. What a player. Keane Lewis Potter. I actually think you should all go and sign him in your saves because he doesn't look like... I have no idea what his attributes look like, but I'm actually very intrigued to see what they're like because whenever I've seen him in an FM save before, I've never thought I have to sign him. But it just goes to show that he can just be really, really effective, which is what he is. By the way, a lot of you asking, can we see the attributes at the end of the save? I think the answer is yes. Once we've won either the Premier League or the Champions League, or both, depending on how things go, I think we will have a little end of the video. We'll go and look at some of the attributes of some of our players. We could even go back to old save points and see a few of them there. So I am very, very intrigued to see them myself. So I think we will include that in the videos. Let me know if that is something you want to see as well. And then, yeah, here's the rest of the results. It was a good start to September. Then we lost to Barcelona and Chelsea. Chelsea are really good. They smashed us here. Nwaneri got a goal, but they beat us 4-1 in a rare loss for our season so far. Really good October. In the Champions League, by the way, we are currently sitting 6th. We've qualified for the playoffs, but I'm hoping we go straight through to the next round after that as well. We're only 3 points off the top, so we're in a good position with that. These are the results. 4 wins against Atletico. We beat Atletico Madrid 6-0. I think that's our first game as well. We're very close to the start anyway. We've drawn 1 to Leipzig and we lost to Barcelona 4-0. But yeah, serious, silly team is what we are. Was it one of the first games? Oh, no, it was down here in December. It was quite recent, actually. We beat Villa 6-0. We beat Liverpool. Lost to City. Monterisi scored in that one. And then most recent, we've beaten Burnley 5-2. So Premier League looks like that. Champions League's looking good. We've gone out of the spineless Carabao Cup there on penalties to Manchester United. That'll be one that we've missed out on some potential trophy silverware there. But, oh, well, it's a penalty loss. There's not a lot you can do about that, is it? Sometimes you get a little bit unlucky, don't you? Heading into January, though. The budget, if we go to the finances, is just under £300 million still. The projection is still saying it's going to go down. Debt and loans, by the way, they owe us money. I know that this was something, I don't know if I showed it last video, but a lot of people were saying, why in a Moneyball save are you doing installments? I think it's just to try and keep it realistic, but also now it's got to the point where people owe us money because we've just been very good with making money, haven't we, over the whole of this save. Heading into January, I don't think I actually want to sign anybody unless somebody leaves in January. I'm actually quite happy with where the squad is at, really. These are the stats for the players in the team. So as I mentioned, Gyökeres did have an injury, so he's only played 17. He's got 10 and 17 in all competitions here, which isn't quite the prolific striker that I'm hoping he can still be, but I'm sure that will pick up in the rest of the season. These two have been the main stars of the team. Mastantuono as the number 10, and then Keane Lewis Potter, we looked at him just now, didn't we? He is outrageously good. Unhappy Ethan Nwaneri, I am going to give him a new contract, so that one should be fine there. A couple of other people just complaining about like not playing enough games. I'm trying to really rotate because I want our whole squad to be happy, which is always the balancing act of Football Manager, isn't it? But players like Boers are coming in and playing a lot of games, look. Started 9 times and played very well. He's actually attracting interest from, you guessed it, Saudi Arabian teams, who I'm trying not to sell to because they seem to be the only teams that are interested in our players. Lewis Skelly wants to go on loan. He's not really had enough game time. Maybe a loan in January. Maybe trying to sell Konak as well might be an option. Something that I'm thinking about. Keran, we talked about, has played a lot of games. Monterisi, very good when he has played too. Zalazar, another one that I may be thinking about. Do we try to moneyball him a little bit? He's now 30 with a big value. I do wonder if we want to maybe move him on. So I'm not going to actively try and sell people, but if there is any interest for players that I think we can turn a profit on, I might do if I think I can bring better players in. Left back might be something I'm looking at as well. I have been scouting a little bit. If I go to my left backs on here, there is Ascende and this guy Burgo on here, but Ascende is only 20. This is him here. He's a new gen left back. Did find him. I'll show you as is this fullbacks here. He looks pretty exciting, actually. I like him a lot. He's very young, but lots of potential. Only playing a lot of games. Look at the average ratings on him. Look, 18 games, 7.99 average rating from left back. Playing for Rennes too, so maybe take it with a slight pinch of salt. But he's an option if we were to sell or lose Rico Lewis Henry, but I'm not quite sure with him at the moment. Again, I'm not really going to go and actively go and do too much in January, but just sort of giving you the heads up of where we're at. I'm also really trying to keep an eye on the wages. It looks like wages have gone quite high because we're now a title challenging team and we have to pay the wages for like Gyökeres and Mastantuono and Frendrup, the captain. I mean, we've only got 3 players over 100,000 a week. Football Manager, I think wages do ramp up really quickly and get really high. If I was to compare this to other teams in the league, just for context, because I know that some of you might look at that and go, how's that Moneyball if you're paying that much money? If you compare it to other teams in the league, we are very much not one of the top teams. If it go to its salary per annum down here, look, we've got the 13th highest wage bill in the league. So I think that kind of puts it into context to show that we are still being very tight and stringent. We're on 93 million, whereas the teams that we're competing with, 330 million, 276 million, etc., etc. I feel like that is an important thing to kind of show you. And we are 18th for transfer spend, which is we've made a profit of 37 million pounds this season too. So I think that is worthwhile pointing out. I showed you before the overall balance is at 293 million. Oh, something else to show you on our staff, the recruitment team. Look how close we are. We're now the 2nd best in the league. I've been asking for more analyzing data people who can do that. So data analysts, I think is what you call them. We're not quite there yet, although I can get some more scouts back in. So I'm going to do that in a second. They've given us 28 scouts now. I think they look at how much scouting I do and just say that we need loads. We've already got the best scouting network in the league as well. And also, did I show you before? I think we've had our youth intake preview at this stage as well. It's not amazing considering how good our youth system and facilities are now. One striker there that could be a fine prospect, which is quite exciting. Average intake, but 1A. So keep an eye on that one. Hopefully it's really good. We will keep our fingers very much crossed for that. Now, though, I'm going to go and play January's games. We play Arsenal away from home in the FA Cup. It's not in the league, though. By the way, it seems like this every single year, but look at our end of season run. Arsenal, Liverpool, City. We need to either be way ahead in the title race or not worried about it by this stage, because I don't think we pick up max points from those last 3 games. Maybe it gives us a chance of going ahead of those guys because they play each other before that, though. Swings and roundabouts. Anyway, I'm going to go and do January, do the January business, play these games here, and I'll see you once I've maybe done some more transfers. Okay, things might have just got very, very interesting. It's now the 1st of February 2029, and this is the league table. We are joint on points with Arsenal, only behind them on goal difference. We've played 25 games. There are 13 to go. And we are in a serious title race, a 3-horse title race, because Chelsea are only a point behind as well. We've got the middle, we're very much the middle team. because we've got one more point than Chelsea, but also the worst goal difference out of us and Arsenal. Arsenal in the box seat, in the driver's seat, but they've had a little bit of a wobble to blow that 4-point lead. In January, look, they lost to Fulham. They lost to Man City. They did lose to us as well in the FA Cup, but they've lost a couple of games in the league. I'll show you our results, because obviously they are very important. We have won every game in Jan, except for the last one, which is so frustrating, because I was about to be able to go into this part of the video with us leading, and then we did this. We conceded in the 88th and 92nd minute after scoring the second in the 81st minute. We should never be bottling this one, but this is Football Manager. These things happen, don't they? But yeah, it's been a very good January, both on the pitch, as you can see, beating teams like, look at some of the young players coming in and scoring goals when I've been rotating in like the Champions League, in the league phase. By the way, in the Champions League, in the league phase, we are now through. We go straight through to, well, there's the league phase there. Look, we finished 4th overall, 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, the same draw and loss that you saw before, but a couple of extra wins in there against Red Star and Dortmund. Oh no, they were before, weren't they? Maybe it's Midtjylland and Legia Warsaw. But we go through, we will play. I don't know if it actually shows us. Oh, I can click it there, look. We can go to the round of 16. We don't know who we're going to be playing in the round of 16 just yet, but it will be coming up very soon. I wanted to point you towards this as well. Keran, I built him up quite highly, didn't I, at the start of the season? He scored 4 in a game here against Legia Warsaw. This guy might be a future superstar. He's got 13 and 17, and actually a lot of these aren't from the start either. He's only got 8 starts in the league and scored 6. 7 starts in Europe and scored 6. He is silly. I think his value's gone up again. No, still the value's still the same. He's got full caps as well for Croatia at only 19 years old. He cost us £4.7 million and could be a serious, I mean, look at that for just this season. If we just go to it as an attacker, and remember he plays as a winger, that data right there is excitingly good, isn't it, from Keran. And as I mentioned, both great results on the pitch. There's a new guy there. Also some nice results, I think, off the pitch too in terms of transfers. We've done a little bit of business. Here is the first one. First bit of business is this man here, Paul Ascende. We looked at him in the last part of the video. His value came down a lot, actually, to £16.5 million, to the point where I thought it was probably worth it because of his age, because of a really good scout report that I got. If I go just to show you the coach report here, he's apparently got loads of potential to improve from here. He was having those amazing performances for the Rennes second team. Not quite ready yet, I would say. Well, according to the head of youth development here, Giulio DeMarco, good championship player, but will improve. And I think he's ready to go and take the mantle on from either Borza or Rico Lewis Henry. The reason that I've decided to pull the trigger on this one now is because Rico Henry, I talked about him being such an important player in this save before. I had a look at his contract. The 1st of January rolled around. We went into the last 6 months of his contract. I don't think I want to give Rico Henry another deal where he's going to want, I think it was more than £72,000 a week. He's 32. I didn't want to give him that big. I didn't think it was very Moneyball to give him that big contract for another couple of years, because he's only going to get worse, isn't he? And we've got some good options in. I think Andre Borza is really good. And when he does play, average rating of 7, look, he's actually been very very capable when playing. Wanted actually by a Saudi team, Al Ahly, at the moment as well. Values all the way up as well. He cost us 2.9 million. I mean, there's Moneyball going on all over the place, isn't there? But also then Ascende coming in to eventually come and take that spot. He's only 21, and Borza is, how old is Borza now? Borza is, I've gone off it. Borza is only 24 as well. So one's for the future, definitely there. And then the other bit of business that we did was this guy, Svetlan Lubasic, came in. I think I'm just obsessed with signing players from Hajduk Split at this stage. This guy just looked like he could be really good. He scored a lot of goals in this past season here. 9 goals at the age of, is he 18? He's a bit older. He's 21. But at a young age, look, he scores goals for 3 seasons now. And he was also wanted by some big teams. So I decided to take a punt on him. I've offered him out for loan. We'll see if we can loan him out maybe in the summer. He didn't get the loan that I wanted to give him in the January window, but we have used him a couple of times in continental games. I think he's not scored a goal, but he missed the penalty. I swear he did score a goal. It wasn't in the continental, was it? He did. No, he scored a penalty here. Okay, maybe I just read that wrong on there. He scored the penalty. I thought he did in the FA Cup. Maybe he missed one in the Champions League. Is that right? Did he miss one in here? Yes, he did. Okay, there we go. That's for these little things, but I feel like we need to just fill the dots in. It would have driven me crazy, wouldn't it? He did miss a penalty in this 5-3 win here. That is the situation. I did sell somebody as well. It was Yunus Emre Konak. This was another thing that pushed me towards pulling the trigger on Ascende. We got £7 million in for Yunus Emre Konak. I kind of kept him around for a while, hoping that he would reach his potential, and then he just never really did. So he's gone. Another player that we've sold to Saudi. Only £7 million though. What did they put him on in wages? 33k, so actually quite a cheap signing from them, Al Ettifaq. And then that gave me the little bit of money to go and spend on Ascende. Puts our balance at 271 million. Puts us in a place where we are going for this league title with 13 games to play. I think that all that remains to be seen. In fact, is there anything I need to show you in terms of stats on here? I mean, this is the team that, as it was being played, I think from the last game, but just to show you some of the stats on there, 16 goals for Kilos Potter now, 9 from Mostenfeld on the right-hand side. Mastantuono's got 14. Gyökeres is up to 15. Wanted again by Al Ahly. A lot of Saudi teams wanting our players, as per usual. Our header wants a new deal. Oh, I did also give Nwaneri his new deal. He's on big wages now, 160k a week, but he's becoming very, very important for us. 11 assists, 7.42 average rating from Ethan Nwaneri in our midfield. Very important player. All of that said, though, the most important thing right now is this title race that we are in. I'm going to go and play the next few games, and just maybe, if it turns out, if things go our way and there is a bit of a run-in where we might be in a title race, maybe we'll do the live comms like we did last episode. We'll see how things go. I'll either see you right before the end of the season, or I'll see you at the end of the season if things haven't gone our way, potentially. We might even have a Champions League final if all things go very, very well for us. Maybe an FA Cup final too. Fingers crossed, but I will see you as we approach May, let's say. And here we are on the 14th of May 2029, and Brentford they're not the champions. I'm annoyed with myself for playing through and not doing it as a live com as well, but I didn't think we'd have a chance, and then it turned out that in the end we almost had a chance. We've ended up 4 points behind Arsenal. It's our best ever finish. We are second place. We're runners up in the Premier League. It's actually where we should have finished last season, really, isn't it? Arsenal are the champions this year, though. It was Chelsea last year. We finished above Chelsea this time. It's 82 points. Is that our best ever total? How many points did we get last season? We got, 72 last year. It's our best total by quite a long distance in terms of a points total. It's not enough to win us the title, although it's really, really close. We actually ended up having an almost identical. We drew a couple of games where Arsenal won them. That's the 4 points. Otherwise, it was pretty much the same record. We lost 6 games. They lost 6 games. They lost to us. We lost to them right in the run-in. Here is the run-in on here, look, to show you. We went out of the Champions League to Milan. We lost 4-2 to them? 4-3 to Milan in the end. We pushed them quite close, but ultimately went out to them. We lost in the FA Cup semi-final to West Ham, which is a bit annoying, in extra time. And then in the Premier League, I thought we were out of it because Arsenal just won loads of games. And then Arsenal, I think they dropped points. Well, they dropped points to us. No, sorry, they beat us. They dropped points to Leeds afterwards. Look, yeah, here. And I thought we were out of it because they just didn't lose a game in the Premier League since they lost to Leicester here in February. They won every game in the league after that. Did then beat us and then lose to Leeds straight after. That made it a little bit closer, but I almost regret I should have done the Arsenal game as a live com, but I have been really pushed for time basically this week. So it means you have to get another episode. We're going to have to carry on until we win this Premier League or the Champions League. And I actually think we must be in a position where some of our players now are turning into genuinely elite talents. Look at the value on Mastantuono. He is turning into one of the best players, I imagine, in Europe. These yellow circles are where I think, they are the best that they can be. So where it's yellow, I think that must be 15 plus or something. His attributes must be silly. His record is silly as well. He's got an average of over 7 for the past 3 years that we've had him. He got 13 goals for us this season. A real leader in our midfield. I'll show you some of the stats as well. I mean, there you can see the results. Look, some really good ones. We beat Inter 6-0, look, in the round of 16. They were the team that we drew. Then we got, it was straight after. Look, Mikey Moore, I need to show you this as well. Scored twice. After I said, I don't know if he's any good. I still don't know if he's any good. Like, he's got some good attributes here, clearly. But then, he scored 4 in a game, or was it 2 in a game? He got 10 out of 10 is what he got in that, in a 6-0 win. So I still don't really know, but I just think he's an amazing squad player to have. That was the end of the season. Let me show you the player stats on the tactics screen. And here they are here. Look, it was lots of games for head. I mean, actually, I'm actually very happy with the amount of rotation that I did manage to do. Some of the younger players like Kagawari Pano played 17 times, 22 sub appearances as well. Look, 28 games for, actually that's an interesting point to say, Rico Henry 28 games, Borza 29 games. He's the first choice left back right now with Rico Lewis Henry leaving in the summer. I think like that can be your comment today. Goodbye Rico Lewis Henry, or something like that. Maybe a goat emoji as your final emoji if you've watched the video all the way to the end today. I do enjoy just seeing it was the trophies last time, and then my phone keeps popping up with another trophy emoji, so thank you for you guys doing that. Maybe the goat emoji, and maybe a goodbye to Rico Lewis Henry in today's video. There are the stats anyway on the players. I kind of just leave them on the screen for you to have a look at. 23 goals from Gyökeres, 18 for Keane Lewis Potter, as well as 8 assists from him. A great account from him this season. Lots of really good stuff from 17 goals, 8 assists from Mastantuono. And then Ostenfeld coming into his own a little bit second half of the season. 12 goals, 13 assists from our new guy on the right-hand side. Wanted by Newcastle and Spurs. Could be a big money offer coming in for him in the summer, potentially. I'd like to try and keep him, though. 12 goals from Nwaneri. Look how many goals we scored. 12, 12, 17, 18, 23, 18 from the youngster Keran. 13 from our on-loan Caldini at... Is he on loan at Sunderland now? Yeah, on loan at Sunderland, scoring goals in the Championship. Did they go up, actually? That's something that I want to keep an eye on. Did they finished 4th? They went out in the playoffs anyway. They're not going up. So we'll probably use him next year, I think, in our squad, won't we? Anyway, I think we'll leave it there for today. Another good season. Another season where not quite is the answer. No trophies this year, but I think we're in a good spot with the players that we've got and the ages that there are. I've just noticed, by the way, look at Man City's form at the end of the season. What has happened there? They have gone... At the end of the season, they have absolutely bottled it. They're in the Conference League final. I mean, they lost to us, but what a weird end to the season that is. They lost their last 5 league games. City losing 5 in a row. That could never happen, could it? Anyway, thank you very much for watching today. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching all the way through. Leave that goat emoji at the end. And also, go and check out the other channel, the new channel that I've started, Covering 90. I think you'll enjoy the videos. They're really highly produced and good fun. So, and loads of content coming over there too. So go and subscribe there and show some support there if you fancy it. But most importantly, have a lovely rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.